You know that feeling, right? When a word is right on the tip of your tongue, or you walk into a room and completely forget why you're there? It's a common fear that as we get older, our minds just won't be as sharp. But what if that's not the whole story? Turns out, some amazing research shows that a few key habits can make all the difference in the world.
So let's just ask it outright. Is mental decline unavoidable as we age? For a long time, we've kind of accepted that getting older and a bit of mental slowdown are a package deal. But is that really true? Well, the latest science is starting to tell a very different and much more hopeful story. One where we have way more control than we ever thought.
And this quote right here just nails it. Healthy aging isn't about winning the genetic lottery. It's about the small, intentional choices we make every single day. And that simple idea, it shifts everything from a place of worry to a place of empowerment. So let's get into what those choices are. We're going to break down the top 3. Okay, first up is something we hear about all the time for our bodies, moving, staying active. But its effect on the brain is honestly just incredible. Every single time you move, you're not just working your muscles. You are literally feeding your brain what it needs to thrive. So how in the world does that work? Well, when you exercise, your body releases these amazing little things called neurotrophic factors. The easiest way to think of them is like superpowered fertilizer for your brain. They actively help your brain build and beef up the connections between your neurons, which keeps it flexible, strong, and ready for anything. So, how much do you need to move? The research points to a really clear and, let's be honest, totally doable number. Just 150 minutes a week of moderate activity. That's it. That's like 30 minutes, 5 days a week. And we're not talking about running a marathon here. A good brisk walk is absolutely fantastic for your brain. And to make that happen, just keep that 150-minute goal in mind. You can mix things up with some light strength training too. And gentle stuff like Tai Chi or yoga is amazing because it's movement, but it's also about focus and balance. Oh, and never underestimate joining a group class. It's exercise, a mental challenge, and social time all rolled into one. All right, our second habit is all about giving your mind a good workout. You've heard the saying, use it or lose it a million times, right? Well, when it comes to keeping your brain agile, it could not be more true. You have to keep it on its toes. I mean, just look at the difference here. A brain that's being stimulated is always busy creating new pathways, boosting memory, and building up this kind of cognitive armor. But a brain that's not being challenged, it can start to lose its edge as those connections get weaker. It's a pretty clear choice, isn't it? Now, here's a really cool technique for this called dual task training. It sounds fancy, but it is so simple. All you do is combine a physical activity, like walking, with a mental one, like trying to memorize your grocery list or practice some new vocabulary. This combo literally supercharges your brain's ability to juggle tasks and stay sharp. So here are a few great ways to get that mental workout in. Try to set aside 20 to 30 minutes a day. You could do puzzles, for sure, but you know what's even better? Learning a totally new skill, something you're a complete beginner at, because that forces your brain to build brand new connections from scratch. And just like with exercise, joining something like a book club adds that awesome social layer to learning. And that brings us to our third and final habit, what you eat. It's no exaggeration to say that what you put on your plate has a direct and pretty immediate effect on how well your brain works. So let's look at the ultimate brain food guide. Look, nutrition can feel so complicated, but it really boils down to something simple. On one side, you've got your brain's best friends. Think omega-3s in salmon and walnuts, antioxidants in berries and even dark chocolate, and vitamins in leafy greens like spinach. These guys actively protect your brain cells. On the other side, you've got the foes, processed sugars and saturated fats, which can cause inflammation, and your brain really, really dislikes inflammation. The secret here is to make it easy. Think of this as your daily checklist. The Mediterranean diet is kind of the gold standard, but you can just start small. A handful of walnuts as a snack, a serving of blueberries, maybe even a little piece of good dark chocolate. And please don't forget the easiest one of all, just drink enough water. Now, listen, each of these habits is powerful on its own, for sure. But the real magic, what the research gets so excited about, is what happens when you combine them. The effect isn't just 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. It's more like 1 + 1 + 1 = 5. It's a synergy that builds a level of brain resilience that's so much greater than the sum of its parts. So let's see how this works. You start by making a commitment to move your body. You get that blood pumping, that oxygen flowing, and you release all those brain-building proteins we talked about.
Then, on top of that, you start adding in those daily mental workouts, keeping those neural pathways buzzing and even creating totally new ones.
And, as the foundation for all of it, you're fueling yourself with foods that protect your brain cells and fight off that nasty inflammation. And when you bring all three together, the result isn't just a healthier brain, it's a truly resilient, sharper brain that is ready to take on the years ahead with confidence. I love this quote because it just sums it all up. It reminds us that these aren't some huge, overwhelming chores. They're just small, daily investments. Every good choice you make is like putting a deposit into your cognitive bank account for the future. So here it is, your simple 3-step plan. Number 1, move your body. Number 2, challenge your mind. And number 3, eat for your brain. It really is a straightforward but incredibly powerful formula for protecting your most important asset. Which brings us to the last and maybe the most important question of all. Looking at these 3 habits, what's one small investment you're going to make in your brain starting today? Maybe it's a walk after dinner. Maybe it's downloading a new puzzle app. Or maybe it's just adding a handful of berries to your breakfast. The power is completely in your hands.